Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strategy Rewind. This is the podcast that focuses on the mindset and strategies needed for a breakthrough moment. If you are listening through any of your favorite audio streaming platforms, please consider leaving a rating. If you have the ability to leave a rating, I know Apple allows you to do that. They also allow you to leave a comment there, right? And if you're listening through Spotify, you can even rate it by leaving stars. So I want to encourage you to do all those good things. Of course, even if the platform that you're using to listening to this podcast doesn't allow you to do such a thing, please consider subscribing and tell a friend to tell a friend. Your voice helps so much in sharing the message that we share here on this podcast. You see, I believe that each and every single one of us has the potential, the ability to maximize our gifting, our talents, and have an impact. All of this, of course, requires a strategy, but let's talk about Sunday morning. Maybe for you, Sunday morning is a good time. I remember when I was younger, they used to give a show called Sunday's Best, and it was essentially like an American Idol type of show, but it was all gospel singers. I thought that was a very interesting concept. For me, for many years of my life, every Sunday, we getting ready to go to church. It's the way I like to start my Sundays. I like to head to church with my family and engage in worship, engage in that moment. It really recenters my entire week. Most often, I wake up early. I do a lot of studying, I prep for what the week is going to look like. And so that's what Sunday looks like for me. But I know that there are a number of individuals, and maybe you may find yourself in this situation where Sunday actually brings a series of emotions, because as the hours are winding down on Sunday, as the sun is settling on Sunday, and as you understand that bedtime is coming around and that you will soon put your head to the pillow and, yes, even have to get ready for tomorrow, which is Monday. So often, individuals are hit with anxiety, with fear, with so much frustration, with irritation. Maybe you've got a job that you have to clock in and out to that you don't even like to go to work to. Maybe you've got a project that is due at school. Maybe you know that you're inching closer to the last few days of school year here and you're nervous, or maybe you're just getting ready for whatever Monday may bring and you're filled with all of these emotions. Did you know that that's actually called the Sunday Scaries? There's an actual term for this. It's called the Sunday Scaries. It's the feeling of irritation, of botherness, is the anxiety, it's the sadness, it's all of these things wrapped into one. It's called the Sunday Scaries. And recently I wrote an article on this, on the Sunday Scaries, how you can overcome the Sunday Scaries, some strategies that you can apply. You can check it out on my Substack account. And I've made it super simple because if you're listening, if you're watching, wherever you're tuning in from, just simply go to the notes of this particular recording, of this particular podcast episode, and you'll be able to there click on the link, head over to my Substack account. Please be sure to subscribe. You can either subscribe for the free version, or you can subscribe to our plus tier. Our plus tier is really exciting. Listen, I've got a brand new podcast that will be coming out, which is titled Growth Habits, and focuses all entirely on the habits that are required in order to see growth in your life. And also there are a ton of writings archived that is behind the paywall. So I'm going to ask you, encourage you to check it out, consider it. But this particular article here, we've put it before the paywall. We've put it free for everyone, so you can check it out. And it is titled Overcoming the Sunday Scaries. And if you've never heard about the Sunday Scaries, right, you're like, what is this? This is something new. Let me talk to you a little bit about what the Sunday Scaries are, right? It's number one, the fear of unknown. It's the feeling like you don't have balance between work and life. I was actually having a conversation with someone recently, and to be honest, this conversation has been coming up even more and more and more, which is the conversation that before COVID-19, before the lockdown, before there was ever this moment of doing remote working, individuals would clock in, go to work, clock out, go home, and you were trying to face the clock, right? You were facing the clock because you knew, okay, by 5:30 or by 6:30, whatever time your shift was over, you knew I have until then to finish all of these projects. Well, now in this new world that we live in this new world, on the other side of what the pandemic was, it seems like working from home is a real thing. But not only that, it becomes a real challenge to actually have work life balance, or as it's also been known as work life harmony. So the Sunday scaries is this feeling of the unknown. What will Monday look like? What will I encounter? What difficulties, what challenges may come today? Who will I have to hear? Who will I have to answer to? It's the knowing that you may not have a good work life balance, or that you may just be burnt out. Another reason because of this feeling, another reason behind the Sunday scaries is maybe job dissatisfaction. For individuals who are unhappy with their job, the Sunday scaries can be a weekly reminder of their discontent. The reality that I'm still stuck in this job that I don't like, with people that I don't like, with all of these things. And you say, well, at least it's online, and it is. But even if it is online, you still have to deal with the reality that you're part of an organization, maybe that you're not so passionate about anymore. So that's what the Sunday Scaries is all about. And you may be wondering, well, how do I overcome this, right? What are the strategies? Because that's what we focus on here on Strategy Rewind. What are the strategies? Again, I want to encourage you to check out the full article that I've written where I talk about the origin and the cause of it. But some of the strategies I'll present to you here today with reference to overcoming the Sunday Scaries is, number one, you need to plan ahead. You need to plan ahead. And this may sound simple, but to be honest, if you've been in the habit of not planning ahead, and you've been in the habit of kind of flying by the seat of your pants, as they say, well, then what happens is that planning ahead is not something in your wheelhouse. It doesn't mean it's not something you can't do. It just means it's not something that you have the muscle of doing. And that is precisely what it is. It's a muscle. It's a habit. It's something you have to develop. The ability of going ahead and planning ahead. Okay, what do I want Monday to look like? Monday morning, Monday afternoon. What do I want Tuesday to look like? How far in advance can I plan ahead? Where are the projects that I need to attack? Recently, I had somebody ask, Miguel, how do you balance all of the things that you're doing? And I told them I try to look for the lowest hanging fruit. And by that, I mean, what is the easiest thing that I can do right now to build momentum, to get momentum on my side, and then keep pushing? And that may be hanging out with my kids. It's simple, easy. Okay, then I'll do that, because once I've accomplished this, then I can say, okay, now I got to go back to work. Now I have to do X, Y, Z. Of course, another thing may be just cleaning around, doing, mowing the lawn, or whatever that thing is on your list that you're like, this is the easiest thing to do, right? Changing the light bulb. This is the easiest thing to do versus procrastinating on it. And to me, procrastination is delegating to your future self what you have to do today. And the issue with procrastination is that you don't know where you're going to be in the future. Of course, there lies an issue. We fall into this trap. We fall into this wheel, right? I don't know where I'm going to be in the future, so I just procrastinate on the future. I don't plan on the future. But then when the future is right around the corner, I'm filled with all of the Sunday scaries. I'm filled with all of the irritation, the botherness, the frustration. Why? Why are you putting yourself through this? Why are you doing this? You're someone who is smart, intelligent, wise, strong. Listen, I know that you have the potential, the gifting, the talents. You just need the strategy. And so first and foremost, you have to plan ahead. What is Monday going to look like? And if the easiest thing for you to do on the Monday morning is to just go ahead and prepare coffee, do that. You're like, well, that's not a big task. It's a good task to say, did I prepare my coffee? Yes, check. I got one down. What's the next thing? Or I got to make breakfast. I got breakfast done. Check. And we look at these tasks and we say, well, this isn't anything huge, Miguel. This is something simple. But did you put that on the to-do list? Is it something you invested time? Is it something you invested energy on? And did you get it done? And if the answer to all of that is yes, then you better count that as a victory. I woke up, check. Hey, thank the God in the heavens that has allowed me to be alive. Check right there. I'm winning. Then did I get up? Did I go for a run, or did I do exercise, or did I meditate, or did I shower? Whatever your routine looks like in the morning, you want to prep for it at night. So you want to plan ahead. This is going to get you off that hamster wheel. This is going to get you off of that. Another thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and change the mindset. Now, again, I go into this more extensively into the article I've written titled Overcoming the Sunday Scaries. But one of the things that you can take away today with you is, number one, plan ahead. And number two, change the mindset. Reframing your thoughts from negative to positive can significantly impact your day, your week, your month, your year, your life. Instead of thinking of the upcoming work week as stressful, as something that's not useful, not beneficial, as a time suck, instead of thinking of the individuals and saying, I don't want to sit next to them, talk to them, instead of looking at it from that lens, look at it from the lens of possibility. How will I grow? How will I learn? How will I accomplish? How will I serve? How will I leave an impact this week? Unlike before. So changing your mindset will actually help you in confronting the Sunday scaries, the anxiety, the fear, the feeling burnt out, the irritation, the frustration. Listen, the fact is, if you're not happy with your job, then you have to think about it as someone who is a prisoner and is planning their escape from the high maximum security prison. That's the only way you can think about it. Because those individuals, right? If you're in Alcatraz, I mean, you think about somebody like in Batman. You think about Gotham City. You think about when they escape the Arkham Asylum, or they escape Gotham Jail. These individuals are doing it in a way that they do not want to get caught. And so if you're looking to make a breakthrough in your life, or you're trying to break free in your life from the mundane, you have to look at all of the details. I remember one time I was watching a program where the individual actually made a small hole on the wall, and he allowed the small hole to grow into a bigger hole, and he was just scraping away. And that's what he was doing, just scraping away. Can you imagine the patience that it requires, the time, the dedication, the focus, the commitment? And if you are not feeling as though you are growing and expanding in your job that you currently have, the first thing you need to do is have a plan. The second thing is change your mindset. Hey, this is the countdown. I'm getting ready to get out of here. But when I get out of here, I want to make sure that I have everything in order. Not that I'm leaving here wondering what's next, but that I'm leaving here knowing what's next, and I ain't gonna get caught. Like, right, I'm going to elevate. I'm going to move on up. I'm gonna do something better. And it all starts with planning ahead. You have to plan ahead. Stop leaving it for the last minute. Stop leaving it to see if things will work out. How do you overcome the Sunday scaries? That anxiety, that fear, that emotion that is tied to Monday, that emotion that is tied to the alarm sounding off, and you just want to hit snooze, not because you're tired, but because you don't want to wake up to the reality that you have to go right back into a schedule, into a place that you're not fond of. First, you have to plan ahead. And secondly, you have to change your mindset. I'm almost out of here. I'm almost done. In a few days, in a few months, I'll be where I want to be. I'm elevating. I'm getting ready to make the next move. When you have this type of mindset, Today's podcast is brought to you by Leadership Hustle Apparel. To hustle is to have a hunger for greatness. It is to understand that greatness is the revelation of the authentic you and the willingness to bring them to life. Leadership Hustle Apparel was established in 2020, and it is geared to all leaders, no matter the size of the tribe. Leadership Hustle Apparel shirt starts at $15.99. Head over to MiguelLeBron.com/shop. That's MiguelLeBron.com/shop. And today, get your hands on Leadership Hustle Apparel. My thought process, my idea is always that you should be reinventing yourself. And in order for you to reinvent yourself, you have to reevaluate your values. The question of, does your values change? Can your values change? I've actually answered this before in previous episodes and in previous blog article writings. So I'm going to encourage you to check out the show note links, because there you'll have links to previous articles that I've written where I talk about, can our values change? If they do, what are the variables for them changing? And I've even put together a list of values that you can review and assign yourself what are most important things in your life. Now, I do recommend that you start off with 4, because if everything is a value, nothing is a value. And you want to start off with 4 because you want to think about a compass. A compass has the 4 directions, right? The north, east, south, and west. So you want to think about it in that way. And these are the top 4 things in my life. And these are the things that I just will not bend on. I will not fold on. These are the most important things. And the question is, what am I doing now to uphold those values? So it's important to analyze. It's important to be honest with yourself. And it's important to always plan ahead. Do not fall victim to the Sunday Scaries. Do not fall victim to the alarm that goes off on Monday. Do not start Monday in negativity. Instead, plan ahead. Create a strategy and move towards your breakthrough moment. Do me a favor. If you've enjoyed this conversation and you want to hear more of this, consider subscribing to this podcast, because there's more conversations that we are having. Of course, you can check out all of the previous episodes. We are quickly approaching to episode 100, so I'm really excited about that. And I want to encourage you again to subscribe, rate, review, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're watching the video on YouTube, that's right, you can check out the video on YouTube. If you're watching the video on YouTube, please make sure to hit the like button. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button, because that all matters as we continue to put out content that helps you have the appropriate mindset and the necessary strategies to have your breakthrough moment.